This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so from the scenarios list, so what was a scenario? We can able to display top and bottoms, but we want the classification: what is top one, what is top two, what is top three. Correct. So let me create one calculated field. This is for top. Okay, if ingredients of sum of sales descending less than or equal to 3, then top else others. And let's drag this one to the report. Now you are able to see we are passing 3. So we are able to see top 3 under top execution. So what I want to classify what is top 1, what is top 2, and what is top 3. So to identify that, what we have to do? So what we have to do? So yesterday we discussed about
Again,
concatenation. Mm,
again, we need to apply rank, I thought, on this.
mm. So again we have to apply the rank. So for example, then top, if I can able to write ABC. Yes. So whatever I'm writing, it is adding to the my result. So let me take this with the same function. So this function execution is to assign the rank for each record. Correct. So when it identifying the rank will be concatenated with the string top. Correct. So what is the error here? Cannot add a string and integer value. So rank dense returns a integer. So to make it as a string, we can specify in the double quotes. Correct. If you specify in the double quotes, what happens? So under the double quote, whatever you specified, that complete thing has been taken as a string. But rank is a function. This function not getting executed. So to do that, what we have to do? We have a conversion functions. We can use this. Now if you look at, you are able to see what is top 1, what is top 2, what is top 3. Correct. So let me modify the calculation for display the data more convenient. For example, let's go with the else if statement. If rank dense of sum of cells descending less than or equal to 3, now I'm making this as a ascending. Okay. So for example, giving one space after the top, you can also write bottom. Correct. Let's apply. So if you look at the bottom 15, 17, 16 is displaying, top 1 to 3 displaying. What is the expected result? This is top 1, top 2, and the top 3. This must be top 1, top 2, top 3. So something is wrong here. If you look at, it is in the descending order. That's what it is displaying higher ranks. So now you can see the uh, highest ranks. I mean, least number of ranks, least number of integers for the bottom values. Got it? So for example, let me create a parameter top and bottom arrow. What is the data type I'm going? Integer data type. Let's right click on this and show parameter control. So open the calculation. Let's make it top and bottom dynamic. Correct. So instead of writing static or constant, I'm replacing with the top and bottom para. Similarly, here also I'm doing that. Correct. Let's apply this. I'm passing to, yes. So let's drag this to the filter section. Filter out your data, excluding others section, so that by default you are able to see top and bottom executed records. Got it? So when you are writing the calculation, you should be efficient. So this is not only the solution I'm saying. This is one of the approach I have taken. So when you are good in the calculation, when you're aware of a number of functions, you will be utilize other functions to write these calculations. So if you look at there is a function space called, okay. So for example, here manually I have given one space, right? Instead of this, we can add one more place, space of how many spaces you want. Let's give two. Okay. For example, similarly here also bottom plus space 2. Let's give one hyphen, 2 spaces. Let's apply this. Okay. So if you look at this must be hyphen. Correct. So what it is taking 23, 21, 22. So there is one more 2 added here. I'm removing that. I'm replacing that with a. So like this, the way you can able to manage your calculations. So to assign a synchronized space based on the requirement, so you can use this. Let me copy this. Top space one hyphen one plus here as well, one plus space one str. That's fine. Got it? So like this, the way you can able to filter out your data. Now top and bottom rank. So what is another requirement? What is another requirement? When I am passing a subcategory from the parameter, correct? So this is a string. I'm going with the list so that I can import data from the subcategory column. So let's import the data from subcategory column. Yes, I have imported the data. Let's apply this. Right click on it, select show parameter. So what is the requirement? So the parameter, I mean the subcategory what I am passing from the parameter is my target sales. Based on that, my report has to classify all the subcategories into three colors. One color is for subcategories which are having the sales more than my targeted sale amount. Correct? That is should be in the green. Subcategories which is having lesser than my targeted sales, that is red. And third one is subcategories which having sales equal to the my targeted sales from the parameter. If you look at here, I'm not passing any sale amount. I am passing only subcategory from the parameter. So when I am passing a subcategory, it has to compare against with each subcategory. So let's try to write a calculation. If subcat para, this is a target, right? Let's make it. If subcategory greater than subcategory para, then green. Correct? Else if subcategory is less than or equal to subcategory para, then red. Else this is for equal, right? For equal, what is that? Yellow. For other it is right. It is correct, right? If subcategory parameter greater than, I mean our subcategories are greater than the subcategory parameter, then green color. Subcategory parameter is equal to subcategory parameter, that is in the yellow. Otherwise like this, remaining all are under red. So less than execution will be under red. So this is one type of calculation. So let's duplicate this, edit. Okay, so you can use a less than function here. You can replace this with red. Correct? This is with yellow. Correct? This is subcategory sales. This is a calculated field. Correct? Yes or no? So like this the way we can able to write. So the calculation is valid. So what is the requirement? Let's drag this to the report. Total data classified into three colors: green, red, yellow. Correct? Let me filter this. Right click on it, select filter. Let's apply this. Sorry. You can directly create a show filter. Right click, select show filter. For example, these all are the greens, red, yellow. So what you are passing here? Copy it. What is the copy it sale amount? 1,50,745. Okay. So as per the requirement, the subcategories which is having the sales more than the 1,50,745 need to be shown in the green. Subcategories with the sales having less than the sale amount of this 1,50,745 becomes a red, and subcategory sales which is equal to the sale amount of passing subcategory should be in the yellow color. Correct? So if you look at this is a one we created here 1,50,000. This is executing under the yellow. It's exactly it is working. So what about this green? This is a yellow 1,50,000. Is this furnishings having sales more than the sale amount of copiers? Yes or no? Is
No,
furn
previous less than.
is furnishings not having the sales more than the sale amount of copiers, correct? But why it is executing under the green? It has to be executed under the red, correct? So now we should think the calculations what you wrote. It is a comparison between two strings based on my requirement. Based on my requirement, where is the sale amount? Where is the sale amount comparison? Did we use a sale amount comparison here? So we did not specify any sale amount of copiers here. We did not make, right? For example, so without comparing the sale amount of copiers with other sales, how the subcategories get compared, how it assigns a proper coloring, proper value to the respective condition. This works as it is because these two are the strings. When these two strings are equal, when subcategory is equal to the subcategory from the parameter, that will be yellow. For that there is no need of writing sales condition. But if any of the subcategory having similar same sale amount 1,50,745, so luckily this is only the one having 1,50,745. If any of the subcategory having similar sale amount, in that case copiers will be shown as yellow, and the whatever other one having similar same sale amount, that will be shown under some other red or green, because here the comparison made between two strings. Got it? What we have to do? What is the approach? My understanding, when I am passing a subcategory from the parameter, first I have to identify the respective subcategories sale amount. That sale amount must be compared against with each sale amount to classify whether it is greater than or less than. Correct. Now I am writing a calculated field for that. So the calculations of what we wrote is not correct. Subcategory sales are okay. If category is equal to at para, then sales, else zero end. Got it? Correct. Now whenever I pass my calculation field returning sales of the respective subcategory. So now I can compare this against with the sale amounts of each subcategory. Now I am writing one more calculated field, color. Okay, if sum of sales greater than subcat sales. So actually this is also disaggregated measure. Now I am aggregating here. Then green, else if sum of sales less than sum of category sales are, yeah, and red is yellow, because greater than and second one is less than, may remaining is only one condition, that is yellow. That's what I am mentioning under the else. So the remaining will be part of yellow execution. Correct? Let's apply this. Let's drag this to the sheet. This is the one we wrote the color. So can you please confirm whether this is executing as expected or not?
No,
So is okay. Now,
no,
so except the yellow, except the yellow, remaining all are showing under the green. So every time it is returning only two results. One is yellow, one is green. Correct? Why? Why it is showing like that? Subcat sales color. Okay. Now let's try to understand what is the execution process here. It's a record by record execution. Correct? What is a subcat are? If subcategory is equal to that, then it returns sale, else zero. Correct? So in underlying source, it might have a number of records. If you look at in underlying source, bookcase is repeated for how many times? I mean, bookcase is having how many records? 232 records. In which what happened? So when you write the first calculation, or this one, this is a disaggregated calculation. So why I'm saying disaggregated? You are using the sales. So the calculation output is a sales. So after dragging this calculation to the report, then only it get aggregated. If you look at correct, then only it get aggregated to the report level dimensions. So for 232 records, this comparison will happen. Parameter passing binders, accordingly it verifies 232 records of bookcases. For each record it verifies, so it is not equal to that bookcases, because from the parameter current now I am passing binders, so it returns 0. and for remaining all it returns sales. I mean the execution process continue to the second record. So the comparison failed, comparison failed, comparison failed, like this. For binders comparison passed. So how many records? 1548 records. So accordingly if you look at, this is the sale amount 1 lakh. I mean this one 2,07,355. This is record count. So these for all each record it will execute and it assigns one sale amount. That sale amount get aggregated to the report. This one, that's what it is showing, sum of sales. Got it? So when you are comparing this data against with your new calculation, what is happening? Sum of sales is what? It's a record by record execution again. Sum of sales of the first record book cases, what? 1,15,361 greater than sum of sales of your calculated field. What it returns? What it returns? It returns 0 for that record. 1,15,361 greater than 0. Condition passed, green. Come down. 3,35,738 greater than 0. Green, 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 yellow. Why yellow? Both are same. That's what executed under the else statement. It is not equal to, not I mean it is not less than, it is not greater than. If you look at the second, I mean after that, envelopes 16,528, but here it is a 0. Like this the way the execution happens for all the records. So what we have to do, we need aggregated a total sale amount of this one, because for this record what is the sale amount for the same records assigned, my calculated field results will be get compared. So it should not be like that, it should be some max value in this subcategory or column. Okay, among all 17 what I want to maximum. So how can I get the maximum one? So if you look at, if you find anything, there is also a function max. The calculation is valid here also, same result. So all are executing under the green. Why it is executing under the green? Sum of sales 1,15,361 takes place here, greater than max of subcat sales are. What is the max of subcat sales are? So in underlying source it might repeat it for 232, in which what is the maximum sale amount? How will you get that? Let's drag sales to the report again. Right click on it. Instead of sum, let's go with the maximum, so that you will get a right value. So 4,40,000, I mean 4,405 for actual sales. But if you look at here, you are calling the max from this one. Obviously, it returns 0 for 232 records. So in which what is the max? 0. So obviously, remaining all returns 0. Similarly, got my point. That's the reason it is returning green for all except the comparison what you made. So what I have to do, there is only one way I have to do. So if you look at, so for this comparison everything is green, even the equal also not getting executed because you are passing blinders. Let's take binders execution. This is for binders. Okay. What is the sale amount? 2,07,355. Greater than, what is the max of sales? 9,893. Got it? So this is the sum of sales. 2,07,355 is the sum of sales. So after aggregating 1,548, this is the sum of sales. So in the 1,548, what is the maximum sale amount? 9,893. This is compared here when you are using max. That's the reason it returns a red. I mean, that's the reason it is in the report it is written in green, but it has to be shown like red. The expected value is red. So what we have to do? We have to understand the tool properly, how it getting executed. Got it? So for that, what we have to do? Something I have to make a change. I'm using total function. We discussed about the total, how it works, right? So I have given example for your reference, how total is getting worked. So let's write one calculated field. This is for total. Total of sum of total subcat sales. Let's apply. Let's drag this to the report. Let's remove everything. Max of sales, count of orders, uh, subcat sales. Okay. Okay. Total subcat sales. Okay. This is for your reference. So one thing it's clear. This is a sale amount. If you are able to sum all the records, what is the result? 2,07,355. You can compare this value against with the sale amount of your individual record. Correct? So like this the way you can able to do this. Correct? So it will return, it will give the result, sum of sales greater than a total of sum of sales must be green. Let's change the value. Appliances. What happened? Why it is showing everything under the green and yellow? So this has to work. So there is some more modification required. I'll tell you. But before to that, let me give you other solution for this. Okay. So I'm replacing total with the Windows function. So for Windows, I have given Windows some example, right? This is a Windows sum example. Windows sum of what? This one. So as I said in the previous class, Windows is a function which creates a what? A window size. So what is the window size you want? I know my record count is 17. So I'm giving manually like minus 17 comma plus 17. This is my Windows size. So it must be executed under aggregated measure. Okay. If mm, let's replace this. Okay. Let's apply this. Let's change to accessories. I have to use colors copy instead of colors. Right click on it, edit. Okay. So what is the window size? Minus 17 to 17. So for the first record execution from here, what I'm using Windows sum. Windows sum means what? In a window, based on the size you specified, it takes all the records sum. Correct? This is the, let me remove the total here. Let me remove color. Okay. So here Windows sum of your calculated field. Correct. So this is a calculated field. How many records I have? 17 records. So what I'm using, I'm defining Windows size as minus 17 comma 17. What is minus 17? The record what is executing currently, that is a zero record. This is a zero. The records which are previous records till minus 17 records will be considered as part of window. And next 17 records, what is the next 17? Bookcases to phones. Correct. That will be my window. Let's come down again. Church. So this is a zero record. What is my previous record? This is minus 1. Correct. Furnishings is a plus 1. So when you are executing for the second record, the previous record will be minus 1, next record will be plus 1. So when I take minus 17, minus 1 record will be part of minus 17. And next 17 records will be part of my current window. Like this, the way when you executing for phones, what happens? The current execution record is the phones. Once you execute record by record all records, last one is the phones. Current execution record is phones now. So when you are executing for phones, what is the current record? Zero. Correct. So when it is zero, as per my window size, what is minus 17? 0 to above all records. So you can take 16, because if it is 0, the previous records will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, up to how many? Minus 16. Similarly, here also you can take 16. Correct. So minus 16, comma plus 16. So this is my window size in which what I am doing, I am this entire record count will be taken part of my windows. This is for not only for one record, it is for all the records. It is for all the records will be part of my Windows sum execution by default, because I have created a window with minus 16 to plus 16, so that all the records will be part of a window size. Got it? So I am doing Windows sum. Windows sum means what? Summing of all the records which are part of my window. My window size is with by default it is with 32 records. By default, it is with the 32 records. With the current execution 33. So when you are executing for storage, what is minus 16 size? Current execution is a storage. Let's assume this is a 0, minus 1, minus 2, likewise. So minus 16. Why I have taken minus 16? Because when you are executing for phones, it has to include the sale amount of bookcases. Okay, so that's the reason I have chosen minus 16. So when you are executing for bookcases, it has to take a windows size till last record, that is phones. That's what I have taken 16 here. Got my point? So by default, all the records are part of my windows function. Obviously windows sum means summing of all the records. Summing of this entire calculation will be the 1,67,000. This is for now. When I'm changing, accordingly it get changed. So now when you are looking at here the result, yeah, it is executing as expected. Let's take for fast nuts. This only the yellow and the remaining all must be green, because remaining all sale amounts are higher than the 8,535. Let's take phones. Phones is the highest one. No, phones is the second highest. So obviously, except the chairs, remaining all must be executed under the red. If you look at it, phones must be in the yellow, and chairs having the sales more than the 3,31,000. That's the reason it has to be under the green. Got it? So like the way you can able to use a Windows function. Let me duplicate this. Let me edit this calculation. As I said, Windows sum we have. There is a function Windows max as well. Let's apply this. Both will return same result, because by default my Windows size is including all the records in the visualization, 17 records. Okay, it is defined with 32 records. I mean 0 16 plus 16, 32 plus 1 33. The current record is 0, that is 33, correct? So among all the records, when it is part of a single window, what is the maximum value? This one. Remaining all are zeros here. This is a max value. So what you are doing here, you are extracting max value from your entire window. That value you are comparing against with the sale amount of each record. So again I'm repeating, Sridhar might not be aware. So when you are executing table calculated functions, so windows rank, these all are the table calculated functions. So when you are executing a table calculated function, the current execution record is 0 record. The previous records above to this record will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 till to minus infinite, and the below records will be 1 to 3 to infinite. For example, this is for first execution. When you are executing for binders, let's take an example. When you are executing for binders, what is the current execution? Binders is 0, 0 record. Previous records will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Bookcases is a minus 6. So you have created a window size with what? Minus 16. So minus 6 is part of a minus 16, correct? So you have included more 10 count, but those are not available. My bookcases is the first, so it is included into this windows minus 16. So what is the next? What is the end of the window size? Plus 16. So when you are executing for binders, what is the next record? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have specified windows end size is 16. It is a, here we have only 10 when you are executing for binders, correct? So 10 is part of my window. So obviously among all the values it will take maximum, that is 3,31,000. If you change Yes, it will work. Okay, so like this the way you can able to get your required list of values. Accordingly it get compared and it returns the results. Now drag this one to the colors. Let's double click on this. This is for green. Let's select green, apply the green. Let's select red. Let's apply the red. Let's select yellow, apply the yellow. Got it? So when you change the value here, accordingly it is considering as a target value and the remaining get compared, and it is coloring based on the comparison. So now you can remove everything. Now it makes a very efficient. What is less than, what is greater than, what is red. So when they are understanding, it will be easy to understand how the how the visualization made. How many are greater than target, how many are less than target, how many are equal to the target. Got it? So like this the way you can write calculations. So this is possible with the total as well. But so when I am discussing about table calculated functions more, so that you will understand how it is working. Okay. Okay, so similarly we can achieve this with a total function. So this is not only the solution we have multiple solutions. So you have to come up with your some other alternate. So this is the reason I have introduced a windows function. I have explained previously total function, windows functions. Got it? Clear? Any doubt?